Hello and welcome to Olympics Unleashed TV. I'm Elka Whalan and it is a pleasure to host this episode of Olympics Unleashed TV. Today we're coming to you from the new Combat Australia National Performance Centre in Albert Park, Melbourne. I would like to acknowledge the Boonwurrung people of the Kulin Nation as the traditional custodians of this land on which we meet today and pay my respects to the elders past and present. I extend that respect to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people watching today. Welcome. We hope you've enjoyed the school term. It has certainly moved very fast. Now, since our last episode, Australia celebrated a major milestone on the 23rd of July, 10 years out until the 2032 Brisbane Olympic and Paralympic Games. Now, we have more on that coming up later. With almost 50 sports to choose from, there is an Olympic sport that is perfect for you. Now, on today's episode, we'll be learning about two different sports, Judo and Taekwondo. Now, we'll be joined by Olympian brothers Nathan and Josh Katz, who represented Australia at the Olympic Games. We'll also be speaking to Tokyo 2020 Olympian Stacey Hymer about her journey to the Olympic Games in the sport of Taekwondo. Now, just behind me is the Combat National Performance Centre that has recently become the 11th official Olympic training centre in our country. So that means it's a facility that will help Aussies achieve international success and get to the Olympic Games. It's also a great reminder for you that whatever you want, if you give it everything, Australia has the facilities and all you have to do is have a go. So let's go inside and have a look at this awesome facility. Last month, Australia celebrated 10 years to go until the Brisbane 2032 Olympics and Paralympic Games with the start of the green and gold runway of the major Olympic sporting events coming to Australia, right here in our amazing country. Now, to mark this occasion, the host cities of Brisbane 2032 put on some amazing have-a-go Olympic sport activities. Check out all the action.
We are so thrilled for our green and gold runway.
Today, can you believe it, is the start of the runway, 10 years leading into the opening ceremony.
Today, we're trying out lots of different sports to see what we like.
All these sports are great for all children to experience what it might be like in 10 years in Brisbane.
Time starts now. I think we've got some future Olympians out there this afternoon.
10 years to go and the world's greatest athletes will be here in Brisbane for the greatest sporting event in the world.
So excited to be in the grandstands cheering on, hopefully a few of you girls and boys in the crowd here in Brisbane.
I brought the kids along to try out some sports today.
My favourite was judo, handball, soccer. Playing tennis. I did hockey, volleyball, bike riding, wheelchair rugby and rugby. My favourite one was BMXing. The wall would just disappear.
Not heard about some of the sports here, like judo. I tried that and it was really interesting actually.
They had the fencing and also the shooting.
Walking around South Bank and seeing the faces of these kids, it makes it a reality that this is our games.
One of the things that's really incredible about having the Home Olympics and the Paralympics is the potential that it has to just create significant positive change within the community.
So great to see them getting super excited.
Yeah, I think everyone had a lot of fun today. Can't wait to see you at Brisbane 2032.
Well, how awesome was that? And even more awesome to know that in 10 years' time, in 2032, at the Brisbane Olympic and Paralympic Games, you could be doing anything yourself, from competing, coaching, being part of the medical staff, opening ceremony, designing and building key infrastructure and volunteering. I can't wait. And what I can't wait for is now to introduce two fine young men of judo. Please welcome Nathan and Josh Katz. Welcome, boys, so much. Now, Josh, I'm going to start with you first. Tell me, what was it like being the youngest member of the team? You started at the age of 18, making your first debut.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. It was a bit of a whirlwind. So soon after finishing school as well, I definitely wasn't expecting to go to Rio. I was really always in the plan to go to Tokyo. So really just got caught up in the moment and yeah, just rode the wave for 6-9 months leading up to Rio. It was amazing.
Amazing. And now, Nathan, you were also part of that team alongside your brother. What was that moment like? I did ask you just offline before. Do we remember who was announced first in that Olympic team lineup?
Yeah, well, I was 21 when I officially qualified for Rio, and people asked me why it took so long to get to the Olympics when Josh managed to do it at 18. But it was amazing getting to go with Josh, and for our family to experience something like that together was unbelievable. So it was incredibly special.
Now, you have such an incredibly talented family. We're using the word talented and incredibly a lot, particularly in this interview, because your parents are an Olympian and a coach as well. Tell us that story.
Yeah, so Mum went to the 1988 Olympics in Seoul, and Dad was her Olympic coach, and they were both our coaches when we started judo at the age of 5. So we always knew we couldn't mess around too much because Mum and Dad were coaches on and off the mat as well. So yeah, they kept us in line pretty well.
Tell me, why judo? Obviously, you've got your parents as well, but then did they introduce you to any other sports? I mean, one of the mottos here of Olympics Unleashed TV is have a go. So obviously you were brought up doing judo, and that's obviously natural, but what other things did you get involved in?
Yeah, I think we participated, both Josh and I, in so much sport when we were young, and it was really only at the age of 14, 15 that we were best at judo. I think judo was what we loved the most, we were most competitive in, and it was probably the sport out of all the sports that we did that we had the most control over. And I think having Mum and Dad so heavily involved in judo made it a little bit more special for our family as well, because yeah, they do coach us on the mat and off the mat, but it was a really special thing for our family to do growing up. We spent so much time together involved in judo. So I think that was always the swinging point that turned us towards judo.
I have a question to ask as siblings, as brothers. When is that moment where you say, we're going to train together, and then you know that once you finish training, like that's it, you can't take it home with you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be kidding if I didn't say that. It occasionally didn't spill over back home, but I think we've definitely spent so much time together now that we know the right time to just walk away and give each other a couple of minutes.
Still, it's a learning process. Yeah. To be honest, we're still working on getting that down pat.
So you literally are together 24/7. You train together, sleep, you know, live together in the same house. You're doing everything together.
Yeah, so we both moved from Sydney to Melbourne at the start of this year. We have an apartment just in Albert Park together, so I spend an incredible amount of time with Josh. I don't know if incredible is the right word, but we spend a large amount of time together. But on the mat, off the mat, I guess judo is done at home, it's done here, but no, I'm really grateful for the support that I get from Josh, and I think likewise, and it wouldn't be as special, this journey, if we weren't doing it together.
When we had a chance to have a holiday earlier in the year, we definitely took advantage of going separate ways.
And do you actually discuss that before you do? Are you like, this is where I'm going, so you can't go there?
I don't know. I think it was just like common knowledge. I was like, I'm going away with one of the other boys, Nathan's going away with his girlfriend, so we'll have a good time.
Josh, how has the preparation been here in Melbourne?
Yeah, it's been great. It's just great being surrounded by, in such a high performance environment. It was associated with the VIS next door as well, so just being surrounded by everyone working towards the same goal, all towards the Olympics and Olympic medal one day, it's really motivating to be surrounded by everyone. It's
amazing, isn't it? Our country having these incredible facilities. Tell me, Nathan, how does judo work?
Yeah, so the aim of judo is to throw the other partner or your opponent flat on their back. If you do that with enough force, it's called an ippon, which, similar to boxing, is like a KO, and that ends the fight. And the other ways to end the fight immediately would be you can choke someone and they tap, which is a submission, and you would win. Or if you put pressure on the elbow joint, an arm lock, and they tap, you'll win as well. And you can pin. So if you have your opponent, both of their shoulders on the mat, flat on their back, and you pin them for 20 seconds, that's the last way to win. And then obviously, judo being a 4-minute match, if at the end of that time, none of those things has happened, if there's a small score or a count back, you can also win. Say you throw your partner on their bum or on their side, you can win by that. Otherwise, judo, at the end of 4 minutes, it goes into an extra time, and the matches can go quite long. Josh is pretty attuned to having some very long matches, so I think that's the beauty of judo. It can be over in 3 or 5 seconds, and it can go for 15 or 16 minutes if someone's fighting Josh.
Can only imagine you two rumbling at home, honestly.
Definitely hoping for the 10 second.
So it would only be fair for everybody watching that you two get into a bit of a match, a bit of a challenge match, and since you're both in different weight divisions, I think it's only fair that we see what happens.
Perfect, sounds good.
Big brother never loses, let's go.
Only on Olympics Unleashed TV are we having a real life competition between the Katz boys Josh and Nathan. We're starting off with a 30-second push-up challenge. All right, boys, here we go. On the count of 3. 3, 2, 1, go. Who would say would be winning right now, BK? What do you think? Who do you think? Maybe Nathan. 3, 2, 1. And the winner is Nathan. Woo! Okay, well, no time to rest. Josh, you're up. Who can ride the furthest amount of meters on the bike? 3, 2, 1, go. What a workout for these boys. 3, 2, 1. Oh, let's have a quick look at that time there. Great, got it. Nathan's up. This one's going to be hard to beat. Here we go. So we've seen Nathan win the push-up challenge. Who is going to win the bike challenge? We've got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's have a look. Oh, Josh won with less than 1 meter to go. Well done. We are now even Stevens. Boys, bring it in. We have the judo. Bow to each other and let the games commence. Winner. The older brother, Nathan Katz, wins over Josh in judo. Well done, boys. Look at this sportsmanship, brotherly love.
Not happy about it.
Tell me about the moments that we're talking about, so many incredibly happy moments. What about the moments that you don't want to wake up or train, or that, Josh, you are doing incredibly well, and Nathan, there might be a season that's not happening for you, or vice versa? Are you backing each other up in that, or this is where you really get individual and you're focusing on your own personal goals?
I think really a combination of both. I think we're both really in tune with what we have to do personally, individually to succeed, but at the same time, so much of that overlaps. And I think for sure, there's not every day that you woke up motivated and hungry and healthy and ready to train, and having Josh there and vice versa and saying like, come on, like we need to get this done. And just having him always next to me when I'm training is a huge push. And especially during early parts in this year, I wasn't super successful. I'd had a lot of injuries and Josh was flying, and it like pushed me to want to get back and to achieve that stuff together. And I think 100% in Birmingham when Josh won bronze and I was standing in marshalling and I was just thinking there's no way that I was going to let him go home with a medal and me without one. So it's definitely a healthy rivalry, but no, we completely push and support each other 100%.
The story wouldn't be quite as exciting if it was just me and you chatting. We'd just leave Nathan out of it if he missed the medal, if he didn't get bronze.
Tell me, what do you do in your time that when you're not doing judo? What are some fun things? What are your hobbies, passions, sports for students watching this right now?
Yeah, so we study as well. I'm in my last semester of study, thank goodness. Felt like a really long time. So in my last year of study, and we do a lot of speaking engagements in schools, primary school and high schools as well. And then, yeah, follow lots of other sport and try not to think about judo too much, to be honest.
Of course.
Yeah, since moving to Melbourne, I've been trying to make sure everyone understands that football means rugby league and not AFL. So, I watch way too much rugby league, the Parramatta Eels, so we're going to win the final this year. But no, when we're off the mat, we just try and separate judo as much as we can. And we love coffee down here. Melbourne's a good little cafe and coffee scene. So judo's a weight-making sport, so we can't have too much fun with that. But no, we've definitely really enjoyed our time down here so far.
That is so amazing. I have a final question to ask you. Tell me, when you are waking up in the morning, who is the first to wake up? Are you setting each other's alarms? Are you doing it yourself? What's the deal?
Absolutely not. It's like we're leaving at this time, you get up whatever time you want, and then we're going out the door at this time. So. And
have you ever has one left without the other?
No, we're normally pretty good. Like, there's a lot of times that we don't say anything to each other in the morning, and like I hear Josh's alarm go off, and I'm not ready to get up yet, but eventually we get up, and there's some days, probably this morning, when we just sat there and drank coffee in silence. It was pretty cold in the apartment.
Melbourne winter's a little bit darker and colder than Sydney, so we just sort of sit there and think about the long day ahead.
But I think we have an understanding that, yeah, we don't leave each other behind, so we get there together in the end.
4 weeks' time, you have World Champs.
Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah, it's the first World Championships as part of the qualifying for the next Olympics. So hasn't felt like it's been that long since Tokyo came around.
So in 4 weeks' time, if you go to this and you qualify, then you've automatically made this next Olympics?
No, so the qualifying process for judo is like a 2-year process, and they count your 5 best results over the 2 years of qualifying. But the World Championships being the biggest event, biggest qualifying event, the most significant with the most points, you can definitely go a long way to securing qualification at the World. So I think now that Com Games are sort of in the rearview mirror and the World Championships, I think it's like officially the start of our road, I think, towards Paris. So it's super exciting. Tokyo we didn't get to experience together, and I think we're really, really motivated to get to be in Paris together.
It's so amazing. Well, I just want to say, like, it's so inspirational sitting here talking to you both. I've seen you both not only plastered across social media in the best realms and forms, but the work that you're doing for the Australian Olympic Committee as well, and exactly what you said, going in and talking to school children and inspiring them as well. You are two kings, really leading the way and being true gentlemen. So congratulations on all that you've achieved and all that you've got coming up. Thank you, boys, for joining us today on Olympics Unleashed TV. It was a barrel of fun.
Thanks so much. Thanks, guys.
Now, earlier, Nathan, Josh and BK spent some time with some young judo athletes answering some questions and teaching them some moves. Let's take a look.
All right, hello everybody. Thank you so much for coming to film Olympics Unleashed TV with us. My name is Nathan Katz. My name is Josh. And today we're going to do a little bit of judo with you guys. But first, before we show anything, has anyone here ever gone in judo competition before? Yeah. A few judo competition? Does anyone have any questions for me or for Josh?
What's your favourite technique?
My favourite technique? My favourite is Uchimata.
Mine
what about you?
Sinagi.
How old were you when you started judo?
I was 5 years old when I started judo, so it was 2002.
And I was 5 years old. I was 5 years old as well, so a little bit before that. But pretty much we grew up doing judo our whole life. Our mum and dad were judo coaches.
How old are you?
Josh?
I'm 24.
And I'm 27.
When did you guys get your black belts?
When did I get my black belt? When I was 16, which was in 2011.
It's pretty old. I got my black belt when I was 16 as well, which was 2014, so 8 years ago.
So technically I got mine first. All right, so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna get Josh to show one of his favorite techniques, which is ogoshi. But I'm not very strong or tough, so what we need is a partner for Josh to demonstrate ogoshi on. So Adam, do you wanna come up and let Josh demonstrate? Beautiful. So me and BK are gonna help Josh to make sure that he knows how to do it. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna bow to our partner. Beautiful. And Josh is right-handed, so his left hand is going to take Adam's sleeve over here. Nice and high up on Adam's sleeve. His right arm is going to come underneath and he's going to grab the belt. So that's what makes this throw ogoshi, because Josh has his right arm on the belt. What Josh is going to do now, he's going to take his right foot and he's going to step forward. Now what he's going to do, he's going to pull the sleeve really high towards him and he's going to spin his hips. What Josh does now is he turns his head and he's going to roll over and throw Adam. Beautiful, and a nice break fall from Adam. All right, Josh is not bad at ogoshi, but let's see if Adam is a little bit better at ogoshi. Let's have a look. Big pull, whack. What do we reckon? Adam's ogoshi is pretty good? Not too bad. Give Adam a little clap. Good job, Adam. So what we're going to do now, all of you guys are going to partner up together and we're going to help you with your ogoshi. Let's go. Let's spread out around the mat with a partner and let's have a go. I'm going to count down. When I say 1, partner A is going to throw. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1, and throw. Whoa, nice throws. Nice work. Some big ogoshis, very nice. All right, we can't just let one person do all the throwing though, can we? 3, 2, 1, and throw. Good job, everyone. Very good. All right, everybody come back in. So, who reckons their ogoshi is better than Josh's? A few people. Jeez. Well, in 10 years' time, Australia is going to be hosting the Olympics in Brisbane. So 2032, there'll be the Olympic Games in Brisbane. Who wants to be at the Olympic Games in 10 years' time? So, what I want to see at the Olympics, 10 years, Brisbane, ogoshi, and then I want someone to point into the stands at me and said, that guy taught me that throw. Sound all right?
And that guy received it.
And that guy received it, that's it. Thank you guys so much for coming and being a part of Olympics Unleashed TV. We're really grateful and we really hope that you guys had lots of fun learning judo from Josh and a few of you getting to throw him as well. Thanks so much, well done guys.
So we've just learned all about judo, and now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I would like to introduce you to Stacey Hymer. She made the Olympics last year in her first ever Olympics for Taekwondo. Welcome, Stacey. It's so lovely to have you join us today on Olympics Unleashed TV. Now, tell us, for everyone watching right now, what was that moment like when you were introduced as an Olympian?
It was like a breathtaking moment, like finally, you know, all that hard work and training and everything, and now I'm an Olympian. And so it's really just such an amazing feeling to then go and then represent your country.
And you know, one thing, if an English lesson for you that I think I might have mentioned before, but you can be a former worker or a former teacher or a former student. However, you can never be a former Olympian. Once you're an Olympian, you're always an Olympian. So that's something, and I've noticed you've got some beautiful jewellery there that you've taken as well, that you've been able to get. Now, tell us, we've learned a lot about judo, but Taekwondo, can you explain to us how you perform in Taekwondo and how you score?
So Taekwondo is a martial arts sport, a combat sport, and we wear full arm guards and all protective gear, and we have electronic chest guards and head guard, and foot protectors that also electronic. So when we score, we kick to the body and we can score 2 points, or when we kick to the head, we score 3 points, or if you punch, you score 1 point. And so you have 3 rounds. If you win the first 2 rounds, you've won the fight. And so it's just as many points as you can get to win the fight.
So if I'm listening correctly, 3 points to the head. So the more that we get to the head, and you do not try this in your classroom, then the more points that you will win for your competition.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Now, tell me how you got into Taekwondo. Now, I was reading before you started this at the age of 4. Most of us are learning to either get out of nappies or toilet train, but here you were learning Taekwondo at the age of 4.
Yeah, so I got into Taekwondo following my older brother, and my dad kind of just threw me in there. Like, I wanted to do dancing with all the other girls at my age, you know, just starting off sports, and I went into Taekwondo, loved it straight away. And it was just where I just felt most comfortable, and you know, all the fun activities and games I was just, you know, really good at and enjoyed it so much.
That is so amazing. What was it like walking into your first Olympics in Tokyo, being an Olympian?
That was a really special moment, and just being with everyone, celebrating, and you know, singing the Australian national anthem together and other Aussie songs together. That was really a special moment.
Now, you're not only doing Taekwondo, you're an Olympian. You're studying a Bachelor of Science, which is the learning of food and nutrition. What made you choose that? And tell us, what are you learning from that?
So Taekwondo is a weight-dependent sport, and our lives do revolve around food and watching our weight, getting ready for weigh-ins day before competition. So my life has always been about watching what I'm eating, eating healthy, eating the right foods to get the most amount of nutrients and, you know, to refuel your body. So food is very important to me, and so I wanted to do something that I can, you know, gain more knowledge from, expand, and try and benefit me in my performance.
So eating right sets you up to have the best body and the best performance, right?
Definitely.
But you've also got to have a little bit of fun in there, right? Surely you like a little bit of chocolate.
I love chocolate.
Good to know.
Chocolate and ice cream.
Yes, especially when the chocolate's melted, it's so nice.
Yeah.
Now, we're hearing so much success from you, but tell us, have there been moments of disappointment where you've just thought, oh my goodness, you know, there's been a setback, or you've woken up one morning and you didn't want to go to training?
Oh, definitely. Like, sometimes you really got to pull yourself to training. Sometimes you don't want to go, but then I always, you know, you basically force yourself to go, and after each training you're like, thank God I went, you know, it was such a good training session. You know, you get the most out of it, you love the environment, you love the people that you're training with. So definitely, you know, some days you can have your bad days and it's really hard, but you just got to keep pushing through and bring yourself to go, and you get the most out of it.
Obviously, Taekwondo is a huge part of your life, as is studying. But what do you do in your spare time? Tell me something that's fun. What are some of your passions and your hobbies, Stacey?
Well, I love shopping, I love music, and I love hanging out with my friends.
Nice.
So, you know, if it's going out for lunches or dinners, or, you know, just going out and hanging out with them, you know, going to a music event,
What's some of your favourite music?
Oh, well, I love Rihanna.
Yeah.
So anything Rihanna.
Under my umbrella.
Like, we love it. So
Yep.
we can always get G'd up from it and, you know, just have a good time.
Oh, that's amazing. Music really brings soul to people's lives, doesn't it? And it
Yeah.
just lifts them up. So do you ever listen to music as you're warming up?
Yeah, always. I think music just really gets me in that funky, chill kind of moment, and then you can just, you know, express yourself freely and let things go, and, you know, you can just see you're just flowing.
Now, Brisbane 2032 Olympics, this is your background here. This is where you're training here in Melbourne. Is it crazy to think, like, you know, in a few years' time, that could be you again?
You know, 2032 seems for me quite a long,
It's 10 years.
It's a long way away.
Someone watching this right now could be competing in the Olympics in 10 years' time.
And I hope, you know, a young person does come up and take my position and, you know, can represent, you know, all the hard work that I've put in to get Taekwondo to go this far, and then they can continue on and go to that next level. And so it is important to keep, you know, Taekwondo going through and in that spotlight, like all our hard work and training that we deserve to go there and, you know,
and do.
Now,
Now, I'm going to ask you one more question before we get you up and do some Taekwondo moves. But tell me, and I'm putting you on the spot, what are 2 key factors that you would say right now to everybody watching of what makes an Olympian?
Definitely hard work. You know, you got to put in the hours, you got to put in the time, and also the passion, the love for it. You got to love what you're doing. And so, you know, talk to the people around you, like your friends, your family, get everyone involved in it, and really like put in that effort, and it'll pay off.
Oh, Stacey, it's such a joy talking to you. Now, are you okay to get up? I'm going to happily sit back and watch you do some warm-up moves for Taekwondo, and we can get everybody involved.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, everyone, now it's your turn to have a go. So we're going to start off, get some space in between you, and we're going to go into a fighting stance. So when we get into it, you've got to key up, you've got to yell. So ready? Fighting stance. Hey! All right, let's do it again now. Come on, a bit louder. Fighting stance, ready? Hey! Nice. So now we're going to do a back leg kick. Ready? Hey! Now back into your fighting stance. Now with the front leg, ready? Hey! All right, nice. And now a little bit harder, we're going to do back kick. Ready? Hey! Nice, good work everyone. All right, thanks for having a go with me. Well done, BK.
Gee, BK looked like he was having a lot of fun then in Taekwondo. Now, if you would like to learn more about Judo or Taekwondo or any other Olympic sports, jump on our website, which is haveago.olympics.com.au, and you can find out more there. Well, it's been a pleasure, but that's all the time we have today of this Olympics Unleashed TV program, and we will see you in Term 4 of 2022 for one more episode for the year. Have a great day.